In our last episode, we had a spicy sail from Isla Carmen to Puerto Escondido. We tucked in just in time to ride out a 3-day norther. As you can see here, it's nice and calm in this natural hurricane hole.
Welcome to G&T Sailing. If you're new here, I'm Gretchen and this is Tim. Together, aboard Felicita, our Catalina 42, we're exploring this beautiful marble we call home. You'll find us this season sailing further south along Mexico's Pacific coast and deeper into the Sea of Cortez. We don't care where we go, we just care that we go, and we're glad you're coming along for the ride.
Mexico is Sexico!
We weren't alone in this plan as we were joined by our friends on Salt Whistle, Delaware Girl, and Talisman. We celebrated our first night back in this favorite port with a pizza party and Michigan football. Since none of us were going anywhere anytime soon, we took advantage of the time and hired a van to take us to Loreto to run some errands and share a meal.
You can pick. It's right up your alley. I'll just take this.
Let her rip. You can get whatever you want.
We want to make sure that
Todo lo que quieres, mi amor. Sí. Dinero, necesito dinero.
Okay.
How's that one, Tim?
And we did provision with real food as well. Welcome, refrigerator.
It'll fit in the boat.
Okay, tell us about the realities of cruising with this package.
Well, you buy a $6,000 refrigerator. After 3 years, it doesn't work. And now you buy a $330 refrigerator. And I hope it lasts at least a couple years.
And how did you get it shipped to Mexico?
Yeah, Mexican Amazon.
Yeah.
But then where'd you have it shipped? You don't have an address.
Yeah, to our Airbnb that we used in September. Teresita was fabulous. Love her. Thank you, Teresita. So now we're going to have some cold food.
But this is only our temporary solution while we get a new fridge installed.
And we'll spend more thousands of dollars for a new fridge.
But we love cruising.
And we love spending money.
Sailing is cheap because the wind is free.
I haven't heard that, I guess.
One of my favorites.
Okay, what's your cruising wisdom?
Never leave the boat without the garbage. Never return to the boat without ice.
What's that one?
I think Rob and I would both agree, double check your propane tanks and never trust the gauge.
I was going to say, ironic.
We're cruising for a few days with Delaware Girl before we start to put our sights more south. John from Salt Whistle has gone home. Rob's getting the boat ready to leave for Christmas time. So, a few more days here and then we go south. Last night we spent the night in Honeymoon Cove. We were greeted by dolphins as we came into the Anchorage. That was so special. And right now we are just a couple miles outside of Balandra at the top of Isla Carmen. And this is where the very beginning of our windlass issues started last season. So we're gonna right the karma of the windlass with our return here to Balandra. I'm just sure of it. It's gonna be awesome. What do you think, Tim,
About what?
about our return to Balandra?
I don't think we should be thinking about what happened with the windlass. It'll jinx it.
Okay,
Everything's fine with the windlass now.
true.
We got other problems we gotta fix.
What other problems?
The water, we've always had water in the bilge. And we gotta find where this water is leaking from.
Because it's more right now, seems like.
It seems like it, but I think we're narrowing it down. That's a little problem of the furler up there on the main.
It's not
Little
running.
stuff, just little stuff. It's always something.
Tim's feeling sad because everybody's leaving for the holidays and we're here. Are you feeling sad?
You know I am. Why do you have to exploit it?
Because YouTube loves it when you have feelings.
Well, I'm getting more and more in touch with these feelings in this sailing life. Wonder why it is we don't go home for Christmas. Does our family not love us enough that we stay here and nobody wants us to come home for the holidays? What's that say about us? That we're down here all by ourselves on Christmas.
Not all by ourselves. There are other people staying. What it says about me as the purveyor of the budget is Christmas is the most expensive time to fly home to and from Mexico. That's why I don't want to go home for
You can't
Christmas.
put a price on feelings.
Well, that's true.
The things that matter in life.
Friends and family are priceless, and money is still real, and math doesn't really care about feelings and family and friends. It's just math, dudes. We're going home in January. Anybody that says cruising is stressful and about fixing boats in tropical places, you've never sailed with Delaware, girl. Oh, here, this is a good shot of Yoga Man.
You're kidding. I didn't sign
Say hi to YouTube.
I didn't sign the release.
We had a fun day playing in the water and then headed to shore to explore the hills surrounding the Anchorage.
Wait, do it again.
Looks like Charlie won. What's happened?
This is the part about mad cow and aging that really drives me insane. I have a little bag of parts for projects that I've got on my list, and I was digging through it looking for something else, and there's a nice little zipper bag in there where I can keep smaller things. I pulled everything out of there, and this was in there. And this is exactly the missing parts in the windlass.
So it's like you found that somewhere.
So now I'm thinking, I found this somewhere and thought this looks important. I'm going to hang on to it. And then when I figure out what's wrong with the windlass, I don't remember this because I have mad cow.
'Cause it was-
And here it is.
And you never said to me, like, hey, I found these things.
I don't remember. But
I don't remember
I can't
ever seeing
believe
those things.
that is exactly
That's the
what's missing from the windlass. So my jury rig,
we can redo
I can
it.
redo it when we're in a spot where I feel
maybe
like getting
this
up
weekend,
in
yeah.
there.
Okay.
Wow.
That's bananas. This is a weird life we live. All right, well, cool. What is your project today?
We know we have a leak somewhere because there's always water in the bilge, and the bilge pump is running free.
A few times a day, at
Yeah.
least.
So I'm just trying to track down leaks, and down in here I found a little leak on the booster pump for the water maker. So I tightened that up and fixed it. But there's a steady drip coming out of the engine room, and I've known for a long time that the packing gland that we replaced the last time we had the boat out of the water in San Diego, we repacked it, but it's got a steady drip, and I don't know whether that's normal or not. But I measured it before we left, and I went online and I found these wrenches, because it's a tight spot in there, you can't get normal wrenches in there. So now I'm going to try and tighten that up and see if I can reduce that drip and slow down that leak.
Yeah. It's not a dripless packing gland, so
it's supposed
it
to
is
drip.
supposed to drip, but it maybe not as much.
I feel like it's dripping too much. I don't know. Look at that. 1 inch there. Does that work? It's too small.
When these things happen, there's only one thing to do. Hang with your buddy boat, play games, and drink wine. lots and lots of wine. This is a very typical cruiser evening.
Wendy's my drinking buddy, like Rob. Every time Rob and I get together to drink, I'm puking off the back of the boat at night
What?
because I drink too much.
Oh, that's We're leaving Balandra, headed back to Puerto Escondido. There's a norther coming, so we're gonna tuck back in there. Rob from Salt Whistle is leaving tomorrow. Delaware Girl is leaving for the holidays on Tuesday. So we're gonna get ourselves organized and ready to look for a window to do the long passage to Banderas Bay to go see some whales. But today, anchor was up at 11 a.m. It is 11:07 and there's a line in the water. So, Tim, we've been out here not even 2 weeks. How are you feeling about the start of the actual sailing part of our season?
Pretty good. We've got some good sailing in, some little sporty sailing actually. A lot of minor little things to fix, but everything I didn't even have to figure it out. I knew exactly how to fix it. I got one thing now that's kind of new, this packing gland, so we'll figure that out when we get on our ball. Getting ready to ride out another norther for a day or two, is it? So it's been dead calm today, dragging a lure, nothing's biting it. But we had a great couple of days in Balandra, didn't we? That's a nice little place.
Yeah, in Honeymoon Cove, I like that place. Saw those dolphins.
Weather's been fabulous. Getting a little cool at night. Time to head south, which is what we'll be doing next week, right?
Yep.
Starting to look at weather windows beginning on Tuesday to hightail it south.
Yep. No joy on the fishing line, but we did make it back to our mooring ball.
Buddies on Delaware Girl, when I was lamenting about having the wrong stuffing packing gland wrenches, he said, hey, here's what I have and I've tried. Why don't you try these? I thought this is pretty clever. So I watched a couple of videos on this packing gland and I saw a couple that have the exact same ones. Apparently it's a very common thing in America, the style that we have. On both of them, they were all green like ours is, and that nut on the back, it's a locking nut, it's a set nut like he was saying. All it is a nut. You just back it off and then you can crank the part with the gland in it. You just slightly tighten. He said that you'll need a wrench to back it off, but then hand tighten it, give it one more little turn with the wrench, and then tighten the set nut again so it can't move. And then he had a clever way of manually spinning the shaft to make sure it still spins. So I'm going to try all of that. I watched a very good video and I think I'm feeling pretty good. So
all right,
let's see how it goes.
Okay. So the wrenches that we bought that were too small, one of the things that it says on the wrench is to tighten the packing gland until the drip is 10 seconds. One drip every 10 seconds. Right now, it's like one drip every 1.5 to 2 seconds. So we've got a little tightening to do. But that's kind of an interesting, good guide to have. One drip every 10 seconds so that you don't over tighten, I guess, or under tighten.
This is so hard. You gotta have both hands on there. Just gotta get down in here like this. Alright, so we're gonna push down on that, pull up on this. Hey, you see that big puddle of water under there?
Yep.
Alright, so what I've done so far, with the help of Charlie's wrenches, thank you, Charlie, on Delaware Girl. You've saved my bacon a couple of times now. Okay, so this nut right here, that is the set nut. I got that loose. You back it off. Yep. Then this is got the packing gland inside of it. Yep. So I've hand tightened it, and it stopped dripping a lot. So now I'm going to wipe up all this water. I got to get way down in there. And then we're going to put a wrench on it and just snug it up. Okay, and then
let me get my hand out of there so we don't break my arm. Doesn't look like it's dripping.
That feels really good to have that packing gland not dripping anymore. But it wasn't obvious to me, having never done it, to undo that set screw first and then snug it up and then tighten it back up. But I watched, as I said earlier, I watched a great video. But yeah, that feels really good, and I feel like I'm running out of things I've never touched before. I'm running out of things I've never touched before. I sure hope, but who knows?
Keep trying.
What the hell could this be? Just as soon as I got done saying, I think I'm getting closer to figuring everything out. I don't even know if you shut the phone off, but the engine died.
I didn't shut the
So
phone
they've
on.
been messing around with it. We seem to have it running again, but no idea what that was all about.
What do you think the universe is doing? We were headed to shore to take showers, so we ended up just rowing the rest of the way, carrying on with our showers, and then meeting friends for dinner.
Freaking motor guys,
Mid-celebration.
Yeah, exactly. Mid-celebration. Oh, it's so frustrating sometimes. You never get a break. It seems going to be simple, though. It's got to be.
It'll be fine. Yeah. It's just annoying that we have to deal with it. But we're in a good place to deal with it. So we have friends. And I'm gonna have pizza tonight from that pizza oven right there. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Mexico. Come for the sailing, stay for the boobies.